Good afternoon again. I'm Sevier County Mayor Larry Waters, and we have some additional updates for you. I first want to, and I think our mayor from Sevierville here, is neighboring city, Mayor Ashley's here. I want to recognize him. He's in the back. We thank him. Sevierville has sent numerous resources to the county and the city of Gatlinburg over the course of this tragedy, and we certainly thank them. And as I said yesterday, jurisdictional boundaries have sort of faded away during this tragedy. I'm sorry to report to you that we have an increase in the number of fatalities. We have increased from 7 to 10. When they are positively identified, we're going to release that information, and when the next of kin have been notified. And as of right now, I know there's been some reports in the media about the names of at least one individual of those, but we have not been able to confirm that and confirm that the immediate family has been notified, and we certainly don't want to release those names until that has been the case, in respect for those families. And I'll reiterate what a distressing and depressing time it is for all of us, and in particular these families. We send them our sympathy and our love, and are absolutely distraught about this continuing fatalities that we're having as a result of this unbelievable natural disaster. We have so far this morning, I reported to you, we had treated 74 people at LeCompte Medical Center as a result of injuries from the fire. We have 6 additional people that went to LeCompte to make a total of 80 people that have been treated for injuries related to the fire, most of which we think have been released. Some are still hospitalized, but we don't have those specific numbers at the present time. When it comes to our missing persons, we have a number of leads that have resulted in some of them being found. I reported to you a number this morning. We're not going to report a specific number, but we can tell you that many, and that wasn't the number I reported to you this morning, wasn't missing persons, it was leads. And we today have found a number of those people that were on that lead list, and we're continuing as we speak to process leads and try to find people. But we're pleased with one aspect of it, and that is that a significant number of those leads, we found people where they are, and we hope that that trend continues as we move forward. I want to give you again the TBI hotline for missing persons, so that if there's any additional leads out there, they can call this line, 1-800-TBI-FIND, or that is 1-800-824-3463. So that is the number, and we urge anyone to call that knows specific information about someone who might be missing. The next thing I want to tell you is to clarify something for you that I'm not sure we clarified this morning. That is Gatlinburg High School, Gatlinburg Pittman High School will remain closed tomorrow, but we anticipate that the high school will be opening on Monday. Dr. Parton is working very hard, and his staff, to make sure that happens, that the high school opens up on Monday. Pi Beta Phi, we're still working on those issues. As you know, there was minor damage at Pi Beta Phi Elementary School, and temporarily Dr. Parton's looking to relocate for a short period of time those students, and there'll be more information on that at a later date. I can go ahead and report to you on the county, and then I'm going to recognize City Manager Ogle and Mayor Werner in just a moment. They will report to you on the more specifics inside the city of Gatlinburg. I can report to you that all roads in the county, including those areas that have been devastated by this fire, will be open to property owners tomorrow, beginning at 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. And I'm in particularly talking about the areas that have been damaged. Obviously, all the rest of the county, the roads continue to be open, and that is certainly majority of our area. There are 3 exceptions to that, and that is because we're still working. We still have power lines down. We still have some issues that we're working on, and that is Beach Branch Road, Walker Trail Road, and Wiley Oakley Road. Those 3 roads will not be open tomorrow because we have continuing activities, and we will have an announcement on those tomorrow. We are hoping to move as quickly as possible to clear those up so that we can move forward. The other thing I want to tell you before I recognize City Manager Cindy Ogle is that Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Sevier County is open for business right now. That we have our businesses are up and running, and we want people to know that they can visit these areas and come to these areas, and we encourage them to do that. Cindy Ogle, the city manager, will be addressing, and the mayor will be addressing specific activities as far as it relates to the city of Gatlinburg. But we are happy to report that everything in the businesses in the county and Sevierville and Pigeon Forge are open for business, and we think that's a good positive thing for our area. Now I'll recognize City Manager Cindy Ogle for her remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. I have been told to state who I am in my title. I am Cindy Cameron Ogle, and I am the City Manager of this wonderful town. Okay, so here is what we want to announce as it relates to providing access to our town. As we shared with you earlier today, we remain very concerned and aware that our city property and business owners need access to view and assess the damage to their homes and businesses. We have been challenged to meet this need due to active fires, downed power lines, and property searches. We know you are frustrated, and we feel that we have arrived at a solution that will allow some limited access and also allow responders to continue doing their jobs to fully reopen our city. At 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, homeowners, business owners, and renters or leaseholders will be allowed limited daytime access to most properties throughout the evacuation areas. Again, that would begin at 10 a.m. and that would go to 5 p.m. This would be for Friday, and if all goes well, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And you'll understand why I'm saying that here in just a couple of minutes. In providing this access, we ask for your patience and that you abide by the limitations. There are still 3 areas that we cannot allow access to due to ongoing search efforts and electrical hazards. And I think, Larry, these are actually the areas that you've already mentioned: Walker Trail, Beach Branch, and Wiley Oakley in the county. And the county continues to work on those, as Larry has, Mayor Waters has very well explained. This limited daytime access is provided through one entry station at the East Parkway, Highway 321, near Gatlinburg City Hall, and it can only be reached via Glades Road. So you need to, that's an important part of this message. You may encounter areas where utility workers and first responders are actively engaged, and you need to be prepared for delays and possible alternate routes. We also remind homeowners that remaining structures on their property are not safe to enter necessarily. Some, of course, would be, but many are not. And even if they do appear to be intact, roof supports and framing may not be stable. By allowing access, the city is not, and we underline not, implying that private property is safe. People may encounter downed power lines and other hazards. The electric system has verified that the downed power lines are have no energy, have no power to them. Only homeowners, business owners, and renters or leaseholders may enter the city to view their properties. Homeowners and business owners may bring insurance adjusters with them. This limited access will continue to be provided over the next several days as we work toward the goal, and we've shifted this goal. I said this morning that the goal to open to the public Parkway and River Road was Monday. We have now shifted that goal to Wednesday, and that would also include Airport Road. So the goal that the city has is now to reopen the downtown Parkway, River Road, and Airport Road areas Wednesday for the general public. And the curfew is still in effect tonight, that curfew again being 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And with that, we'll answer questions.
Yeah, in just a moment, I'm going to introduce Mayor Werner, but I want to emphasize one thing. The city manager emphasized some cautions about structures and what might be out there as folks go into their properties. That goes for county property as well. I didn't say that, but I want to emphasize that. The caution that we have for our business owners and our homeowners that as they go back into these areas are that some of them are going to be unsafe, and they need to be aware of that, and they need to use extreme caution in both the city and the county as they go into these areas. But we understand that people's homes, people's businesses, and they've invested their lives in these homes and businesses, and we understand that we need to allow these people back in there to see and view from themselves exactly what happened to their property that they own and they have, and that's very very important. Now I want to recognize Mayor Werner for any remarks he might have.
Thank you, Mayor Waters. Mike Werner, Mayor of Gatlinburg. Also want to acknowledge that my fellow commissioners Jerry Hayes and Don Smith are here with us. Vice Mayor Mark McCown was here with us most of the day. After this morning's session, had a chance with Mayor Waters and our city manager Cindy Ogle and our superintendent Cash to go over to Rocky Top Sports World and just to talk with a lot of people that have been displaced over there. A lot of real sweet people, very understanding, knowing that we're doing everything we possibly can to get them in a better position than where they're at right now. But they know that we're working around the clock, doing everything we possibly can to get Gatlinburg open and get them back on their feet. There's a lot of things that have gone on the last few days. Last night we had a tremendous church meeting out at the Pittman Center School, and it was just heartwarming. It was a lot of assurance to people and a lot of just camaraderie and love for each other. And Mayor Waters, as usual, gave some very good talking points, and Dr. Parton, at the end of it, he he made such a great statement. He said that we're going to be okay, and the reason we're going to be okay is because we're mountain tough and we have a strong faith in God. And that's what I want to leave with everybody here. We're mountain tough and we have a strong, strong faith in God. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Werner, and we're going to, my communications director has, and I can't talk about it much, but we got some things from Pittman Center School, the students that I think Mayor Werner and I can't talk about because, but it's the kind of support that is coming. It's coming from across the county and across the state that we're appreciative of. And donations are continue to come in, and we're working on how those donations will be utilized and how we can best distribute them. So now we're going to open the floor for questions from anyone. Yes?
Mayor, can you break down a little bit about how the access will work in terms of what documents business owners or homeowners will be bringing with them so they can gain access? Will they have guides with them, things like that?
Yeah.
Randy, come here and
yeah.
Chief,
Chief
if you'll.
Bracken.
Chief Randy Bracken.
Chief Randy Bracken with Gatlinburg Police Department. At our checkpoint where they're going to be allowed to enter, we request that they bring some proof of ownership or address, driver's license, anything to show that they belong within the city. If they don't have it, then we'll do everything we can to let them have access if they can show some way that they can get in there. The two things are ownership or a proof of home ownership or rentership, leaseholder, whatever they got to confirm that they are, of course, fit within the realms of that description. Now, if they're a renter and we're going to have to go through that process with them, like for instance, to explain a little better, if a homeowner is here and they can show they live at this address, they have a valid license within Gatlinburg, and we allow them through, and the next one is a renter and they can't prove that, we'll move them aside and go to the next one. We'll work with this person we move aside to try and make sure if they're allowed in, we get them in.
Will they be up there with an official, with a guide, so to speak, to go with them, or will they have free access?
They'll have free access.
Will media be allowed at the same times?
No.
Chief, you talked earlier this morning, and the city manager did as well, about the percentage of clearing those 4 sections. Could you update us on that progress? We know you were hoping to finish by the end of the day today.
I don't have those numbers at the moment. The last I heard, they were coming back in, all the workers that were out, and they thought by dark we would be complete with that. Now,
As far as we know, that's still what we think the case will be.
we're pretty certain that's going to
That
happen.
by
yes.
nightfall, the search will be complete. The searches will be complete.
I don't have that number. They were still coming in as I left down there.
It's a search where? The search
In grids 3 and 4.
And on the deaths that you spoke about, the 10 deaths, do you have a sense of if they are the majority of them are locals, or if they may be visitors?
I have no idea. I'm not sure of even the address for sure at this point.
Chief, do you know if the majority of those deaths, are they from one particular area, one section? Are they from Ski Mountain? Are they in different parts of your community?
Most of those that I know are Ski Mountain or North Chalet Village area, somewhere over that way. That's all I know.
Do you have a breakdown, perhaps, sir, of the gender?
No.
Where were these 3 additional deaths found? Can you tell us where they were located?
No, that was the county.
Yeah.
That was
What's the question?
the
3
location of the
additional
last
Do you have any
two.
more details about where they were found?
No, I just, we got with the TBI and the sheriff, and the sheriff just reported, of course, the TBI was with his teams. He reported those additional fatalities this afternoon, and that's all that was, they were this afternoon, so it's very recent, so we don't have any details on it now.
Ms. Ogle, there was some discussion earlier of those who are still displaced, who do not have loved ones who live in the community, who are without a house tonight. The Red Cross had talked about they're looking for places for them to stay. Is there any update on that, where some of these folks might be placed?
There is not, Dawn. There is conversation that is occurring amongst the business owners in the community. Very briefly, I was able to speak with them just right before we began this press conference. So I know that, and we have asked them to help us brainstorm this, and so there is no update, but I can tell you that there is a good discussion that is being had to hopefully get us to a point of resolution on that. As Red Cross said, they will leave these shelters open for as long as necessary.
Ms. Ogle, I know you mentioned that there were exceptions to the limited access. You mentioned the Walker Trail, Beach Branch, and Friday Oakley. Any idea at this point when those property owners, will be able to get back into those areas?
Well, and actually, Beth, right, I really think I think I was stating something on the county part, and I don't know, Larry, if you have any idea on those areas.
I do, yeah, I do not, but we expect to have an announcement tomorrow on those areas. That's how close we are to being able to allow people access into those areas, so we're very close. So we expect to have an announcement tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
Hi there. What can you tell us about the ATF's involvement, or can someone here speak to that?
I don't.
Chief, do you? I don't. Oh, here. Let him speak.
Michael Knight, the Public Information Officer for Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Certified fire investigators from ATF as well as the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are providing support to determine the origin and cause of the fire.
Can you tell us what you found so far? Can you reveal anything?
The initial stages have begun the last couple days, and so it will take several days in order to provide the technical support that's needed to determine the origin and cause.
Could you just briefly, how does that go about? What do you look for, and how do they try to determine this?
Well, law enforcement authorities are creating a timeline, and that timeline will look at all the information, the leads that have been obtained from the public, and put all this information together, as well as the technical expertise from the certified fire investigators.
And are you working with the National Park Service on that coordination as well? Are they a big part of that?
ATF and TBI are working in conjunction with the National Park Service.
Why was the ATF called in? I know this is a large-scale fire. Are you typically called in, or why your involvement at this stage?
Yeah, ATF's involvement deals with the technical expertise from the certified fire investigators. In conjunction, again, with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, under the auspices of the National Park Service.
This is what most of your technicians do all the time.
ATF has general investigators, but in this particular case, we not only have investigators, but also the certified fire investigators.
Mayor, I'm wondering if we could just get an update on the status of the firefight in the national park. I don't see the superintendent.
He is not here, so I can't really address that. I don't know what that status is, and the fire chief is out as well. But I can tell you that from our discussion earlier, we have determined that all the fires are extinguished. I'm talking about in the county, in the city. We do have some hot spots that are left, I understand, but that's all that is left. All of the fires are extinguished at this time.
And do you think it's fair for us to take it as an encouraging sign that the search is almost finished and you aren't releasing more injured or dead?
I can't tell you that we will not be releasing any more because the search is continuing, but I think it's fair to say that the search is winding down and we have a high percentage of all areas that has been searched. Now, whether we find, and hopefully we will not find any more, but whether we find any more or not, I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that we have a large percentage both the city and the county has been searched, and hopefully tomorrow we will have that search completed.
Any update?
Mayor,
Sorry.
I noticed that when they brought out these materials from the school children, why did you have such a strong?
Well, I apologize for that.
No, it's no problem. We just haven't seen them, so we.
It was just an emotional thing, the kids sending an expression of their love to all of us at the emergency responders and all of the people, and that's just something that touched my heart for them to do that. I thought it was a great thing for them to do.
Are those from one school or several schools?
That was from Pittman Center, I understand, Perrin, yeah.
How did the counseling go over at the high school today? Did you have a lot of people come in and take advantage of that? And will there be more counselors?
The high school, they originally was going to open it, and they've now decided not to open it, so the counselors will not be there until Monday.
And Mayor, this is a place that is set up for lots of visitors, and some are still waiting to get in to see if they can collect some belongings that may be left. Can you give us a sense of that timeline?
Maybe City Manager Ogle can.
In terms of this limited access, they will be able to do that as well.
So if somebody was staying at a resort in Gatlinburg,
Yes.
is right now at a temporary place, they'll be
Yes.
allowed back in?
Yes, and actually, we talked to several when we visited next door. So yes, they will be allowed to do that.
Starting tomorrow with?
Yes, yes.
For those people that may not have the receipts, license wouldn't be any good, what would you tell the people that's staying there that don't have proof because they were out at a restaurant or something? and
Right,
come back?
right. Randy, can you help me? Chief, can you help me with this
Yes,
one?
that's where the folks, as I said, we'll go through this process and you go over in this lane and we'll try to find out either through the cabin rental company or somebody, did you have this person registered? And of course, by the cabin rental company allowed back to their property, they'll be able to give us that information that they were there.
Chief, one other question about the first responders. We understood from the fire chief yesterday that some first responders did lose everything that they owned. Is that true for both your departments, and do you know how many?
Yes, sir, it is. I know there's 2 police officers in Gatlinburg that lost everything. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think we're going to wrap this up now. Again, thank you all for being here, and we will have another press conference in the morning at 11 a.m. at which we understand both Senator Corker and Senator Alexander will be in attendance, and so hopefully we'll have some more information and leave you with the thought that we always do. We want continued prayers, and that helps sustain us, as does our faith, and we thank you all for being a part of us getting the information out. So thank you, and we'll see you in the morning at 11.